Good evening. I want to welcome you into Guam Football Association's National Training Center out in Harmon as the GFA Budweiser Men's Premier League Division I action getting underway. And it will be the Bank of Guam Strykers taking on Guam Shipyard, as Guam Shipyard sitting on top of the standings. Only one loss on the season. That came just a couple weeks ago to rivals the Napa Rovers FC. And then bounced right back with a very prominent win that we featured right here on these very airwaves last week. I want to also, by the way, thank you for tuning into GuamFA.com. Red Dragon Sports, Guam Football Association, along with Taco Bell, Live Mas, and 76 Circle K, bringing you Budweiser Soccer League, Division I Men's Premier action. As we mentioned earlier, Guam Shipyard, Bank of Guam Strykers taking each other on in the second meeting of the season. I want to welcome you in, by the way, to the booth.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Ron with FC Barrigada Crusaders. We're new to the Youth League, and we're starting up in spring 17.
And I was just going to say, and after had a little bit of a hiatus, right, with the Crusaders, and now coming back, right?
Correct. They last time they were in the league, I believe, in 2009, and so the Barrigada mayor and the vice mayor have been revamping the sports program, and so they've got a lot of encouragement from FIFA President Richard Lai. So they've decided to start up the club again. Okay,
great. We're talking a little bit about all that GFA's got to offer in and around. I know the Youth League, the Triple J Auto Group, Robbie Weber, the Youth League will be gearing up for its spring season coming up. We'll talk a little bit about that. But right now, the game at hand, as we mentioned, first place Guam Shipyard taking on the Bank of Guam Strykers. And Shipyard, no doubt, going to be the heavy favorite in this game, as they have the experience. You know, they have the cohesion, the chemistry on the team. They're very familiar with each other. And Bank of Guam Strykers, an exciting team to watch, a fast team to watch. But a lot of young players and a lot of they've only been playing together. A lot of inexperience as a club together.
Right, but the Strikers, they've got a great program going on with their youth league. So, and it carries on to their men's and their adult league, so they're a team to watch as well.
Of course, Bank of Guam Strykers making an appearance in the Mignette Gut Cup first annual Elite League championship, and they will be managed by Keith Dixon this evening, as always, and handball called there on the black and green. Keith Dixon, also the coach for the Father Duenas Friars, who's got a son on the team, both squads, Bank of Guam Strykers, and they were ousted unfortunately by the GW Geckos right here on this very field after coming in, really, rotating first and second place, and really the heavy favorites after being the returning champs. Free kick will be taken by, looks like Mark Chargaloff, or excuse me, no, that'll be Gadia. Mark Chargaloff walks on. There, number 10, orange shoes, and actually it'll be taken by Ken Karosic. Karosic over to Gadia. Gadia with an excellent opportunity there, but saved in goal. That'll be Julius Campos in front of the net for the green and black Bank of Guam Strykers, and of course the Harvest Christian Academy senior Sean Evans, also a recent Mattel call-up, assuming duties in goal for Guam Shipyard, as he's done all season. Removed a couple games when he was removed from Mattel, but Sean Evans having a great year so far, leading the Golden Glove race in the Men's Premier League, and also his teammate Min Choi leading the Golden Boot race after he took over Ashton Serber last week. That'll be Dixon there, number 13, lining up to take the kick, and they'll change gears now, and Bank of Guam will send it up into the offense. And Aiden Dixon there in the front line, chasing around Mark Chargaloff for Guam Shipyard. They'll send it back to Gadia. Gadia, he'll send it back to his defense, back to Ajay, who works it around. And what do you really expect, from the Bank of Guam Strykers with the youth, that they have and with the speed that they have? What do you expect for their game plan to be in this first half?
I think in the Bank of Guam Strykers, I think they're going to do a lot of counter-attacking. But we'll see what they have in store. And I know they mix things up, and so they're, again, a team to watch.
Guam Shipyard now. working the ball around the midfield and then back to the defense and giving away possession there as they tried to clear it. Some fancy footwork there by Katsumata. And the former IIAG MVP, Ricky Katsumata, a longtime standout for the Strykers FC. And I think a lot of their success, if they can score, is going to depend on the leg of Ricky Katsumata. As he can find the goal, he can find space, and he's definitely got some speed.
Yes, I agree.
Now Gadia sends it up. Mark Chargaloff will be there to chase it down. Tries to save it in bounds, and it'll be kicked just out. Got some good scores up front due to the Bank of Guam Strykers. Now, can they match, what Guam Shipyard has and Min Choi on the other side and Cleary and Karosic? I don't know, but there's a lot of speed, there's a lot of youth in Clayton Mitchell and Scott Spindell, as well as, Aiden Dixon. And, of course, we mentioned Ricky Katsumata. Shipyard now with an opportunity. Shot on goal is on the ground and just wide. Luckily, the goalie got a hand on it and was able to deflect it out of play. That was Jonathan Cleary there with the chase down and the eventual shot. I want to thank you and welcome you in to the program this evening. Red Dragon Sports, along with Guam Football Association, Taco Bell Live Mas, 76 Circle K, bringing you Budweiser Soccer League Division I action from GFA's National Training Center here in Harmon, as we are right in the middle of the 2016-2017 Premier Budweiser Soccer League season. And again, we mentioned the top team in the standings as it sits right now, Guam Shipyard. After taking a step back, losing the only game, the only L in the L column on the year happened to Napa Rovers FC just a couple weeks ago, and then they came out last week and rebounded nicely against Quality Distributors. The ball's cleared up from the Strykers. Now Ajay will get it. He'll work it back, and now that'll be Jonathan Cleary with some space. Dixon knocked off the ball. There's now Odie. And Jock Odie with some speed. Getting his jersey tugged on, and he'll fall to the pitch. Spindell now will pick up the residuals, looking for Dixon, who couldn't turn around fast enough. And Strykers lose possession and now regain it back, and now they're off to the races. They got a chance on the left side. Nice move there from the Strykers, but all for naught is now Karosic. He'll send it up to Mark Chargaloff, and Chargaloff will try and reset the middle line and let his team. We'll see if that comes into play later on as fatigue will start to set in, but still early on, just coming up on the 17th minute here of the battle between Guam Shipyard. Bank of Guam Strykers were knotted up at 0. It's brought to you by Taco Bell Live Mas. Of course, 76 Circle K also bringing you the action, and Guam Football Association and Red Dragon Sports getting in on the fun. Thanks for joining us, GuamFA.com and the rebroadcast. Mentioned earlier, the Shipyard team, the first place squad in the standings, which is where you want to be, especially getting to this point in the season, is definitely not closing by any means, but if there was an all-star break, we would be right up on it.
Yeah.
Right about the halfway mark, but looking good so far. Only one loss on the year. And headed in right as Mark Chargaloff has a corner opportunity, sends it in. It finds the head of number 4, Ajay, the longtime Guam Shipyard squad member, and that's the experience, and that's just like we mentioned earlier, just knowing how to play with each other and knowing where the other one's going to be and knowing where you got to put it.
Right, and that was a perfect corner kick right through the middle, and just way to read it and put it in the goal.
So 1-0 Guam Shipyard. And definitely the numbers are a little off for the Strykers. We'll try to follow best we can. Clayton Mitchell, normally wearing number 23, as I mentioned earlier, he's not on the pitch. Xavier Napati normally wearing number 5. Looks like Justin Johnson is this evening. Napati wearing number 21. So we'll try to keep it straight. And hopefully the Bank of Guam Strykers can keep their offense straight. So we'll take a look at the goal again. There's Mark Chargaloff swinging it in. Right there, just right at the back.
headed in right as Mark
box.
Chargaloff.
It goes right
Has a
past
corner
Ken
opportunity.
Gross, right past Andre Gadea, and Ajay just there to kind of clean up the mess and then finish with the header goal.
Nobody around him. It's just open goal.
Jock Odie will follow it out of bounds. Throw in for Guam Shipyard. It'll be taken by, looks like, Jonathan Cleary.
Shipyard taking every opportunity to win the ball back, doing their ball distribution.
Gadia, the younger of the Gadias, working the ball around through the defense. And a shoving match there on the outside, and Dixon will send it back into play. Justin Johnson clearing it up. Odie there to collect it at midfield, but loses possession, and now the Shipyard squad in good position. Eddie Huang, we mentioned him earlier, number 6. He's a standout for the Bank of Guam Strykers, very young player, plays for JFK, and was the hero in the IIAG Boys Soccer Championship when he scored the winning goal in overtime. So definitely a dangerous player, dangerous striker, as is the young man with the ball right now, Ricky Katsamata, as he takes a spill.
Yeah. Looks like we have a foul in the 18-yard box.
I'll get blown on that, and yellow card as well. The Shipyard plays chippy, per usual, and you know, you don't expect anything less when you see the boys in blue and white. Cam Uggan and Ken Crosser are bumping each other there on the same team. So Katsamata will line up for the close-range PK after the yellow card. Like you said, about 18 yards in the box, and we'll see if Sean Evans can handle this. And Ricky Katsamata, as we mentioned earlier, very, very dangerous. And Mark Chargaloff having a discussion with the ref.
And looks like the ref
And
put out a red.
Was that a red for? Had a red in his hand, had a yellow in his hand. Looks like he flashed it at either Ajay or Mark Chargaloff, and neither have left the pitch yet. So I'm not sure if
it might be just a warning, you know, to let him keep the call and just back off and let him take the PK.
And we'll see what he can do with that very shot right now as Ricky Katsamata will line up for the Bank of Guam Strykers. See if he can equal out the score here. Keeps on the ground right off the top of the crossbar and tries to pop it up. That's a gutsy move there. Sean Evans dove, and they will walk away with the goal as now it's tied up. Ricky Katsamata with the very, very close PK, getting the whistle after a controversial tackle. And now we've got a game as it's all evened up at 1-1. Guam Shipyard, Bank of Guam Strykers here just about halfway through the first half.
Right, and then Shipyard has to be careful too. I mean, with not too many subs on their bench, you know, they can't afford to have a player come off.
And when you see this goal, when you see him line up, and what do you, as a goalie, what you just want to dive in a direction that you think he's going to go, and hopefully he doesn't pop it up like he did.
Well, normally keepers they go for the corners. You know, I mean, normally PKs are line drives right into any corner, but keepers sometimes, you know, they can just miss or misread the player.
That's definitely what happened there with Sean Evans, and that doesn't happen very often with him. There's now Jock Odie. will.
Yeah, it's the free kick for Shipyard.
Right, give
So
an
when he
incidental
commits his
shove
foul,
from
yeah.
behind to Ajay. I'm not sure if he was falling or if it, it was just the momentum, but both players get up, shaking hands, and nice pat on the back. No harm, no foul, and
Yeah.
the free kick goes to Shipyard, and now Mark Chargaloff for the blue and white. Slowing things down, trying to work around Xavier Napati, who is wearing number 21. That'll be Johnson there wearing number 5. Bench on both sides, and from the field is not everybody excited to see that call.
Another long ball to the wing.
And Chargaloff off to the races on the outside, trying to set up some offense, being shoved from behind, and 3-on-1. Chargaloff never had a chance and did well to get the whistle there in his favor, and now he'll get the free kick. Ball a little offline, but headed in beautifully as it was saved there at the very, very last minute. And we'll see who got that one, as that'll be Dominic Gadea, who just got the yellow card. And
Makes up for that.
Yeah, makes up for that and gets redemption. And as you saw Mark Chargaloff, and we had a perfect angle here. It looked like the wind had carried it there, and he got a little bit too much under it and kind of sent it off, but sent it in perfect range for the header off Gadea. And 2 goals for Shipyard, both off the heads of their players.
Right. And Gaudia did a fantastic job just trying to read that ball.
Take a look at it again. See, it floats a little bit far out, but Gadea there.
And he just knocks it right into the corner.
And that was an excellent shot there for Guam Shipyard. 2-1. And they'll regain the lead.
And Shipyard being patient, I mean, just excellent ball movement, switching fields.
Ball cleared into the defense of the Strykers. None of them can get a good kick on it. Now it'll be up to Jock Odie to get out of their territory, and fighting to do so doesn't. Shipyard, they'll keep it. Mark Chargaloff again sending it into the middle. But nobody on his team can get there. Now the Strykers, they'll try again. Ricky Katsamata sends it up to Xavier Napati, who gets into it and gets tangled up there a little bit with Ajay, and that'll be a corner kick or a throw in, one of the two. We'll see where it actually went out. Looks like it'll be a throw in for the Strykers. And Xavier Napati will see what he can do with it. Scott Spindell, the intended forward there in the box, but headed directly out of bounds yet again, and will take 2. Katsamata, he gets it, pops it up. Nobody there, and now looks like that'll be Jock Odie. And Odie. Losing it, and Odie taking out Min Choi. And it looks like Odie will get a yellow card, and he'll help up Min Choi. Again, nice to see some sportsmanship there between, especially in a physical game like
Right,
this. Nice to see, like, it's all part of the game, and we can leave it out here on the field. But hard when it's this close, and they're getting that passionate out here. I mean, I don't know, how much the actual, the stream or anything picks up, the field noise, but we can hear them from way up here.
Yes.
Just a lot of passion out there on both sides. Just guys trying to direct their players to where they think they need to be, and guys trying to just be vocal and communicate. Odie on Chargaloff. Bumped and then sandwiched between Choi, and now
No call.
no call as he'll fall on his back, and Min Choi sends it over to the middle of the box, and that'll be Jonathan Cleary, who's looking for Ken Karosic up top. That's actually Dominic Gadia. Yeah, Ken Karosic moved back to defense. And now Bank of Guam will send their strikers upfield and try to capitalize, but lose possession. It's Landstrom, Jason Landstrom, sending it back to Sean Evans, who clears it away off the head of Mark Chargaloff. And now Johnson streaking up the middle of the field. Johnson, nice side pass, but intercepted by Min Choi. Now Min Choi with some room, loses it. And that's Jonathan Cleary with some nice footwork there. Cleary. The chip over at the box. Chargaloff now. Sends it back to the middle.
And line drive over the top.
Yeah. And Gadia just fires it right out of bounds. He could have stacked 2 goals on it. They would like to get some more. It's Ricky Katsumata now on the attack, looking for some opportunity, and nothing doing there. And Shipyard will get possession. That's Mark Chargaloff. If there's no added time, there's about 3 minutes, well, less than 3 minutes or so, a couple minutes left in the half in regulation. We'll see what the ref decision is after the 45-minute mark, but as it stands now, if it's called at regulation, just about 3 more minutes here. And what has been an exciting first half between the Bank of Guam Strykers and Guam Shipyard. 2-1, the current score, although body of work from both of these teams, it should be a lot closer, you know?
Yeah, and like I said again, I mean, Strikers, they're trying to do some counterattacking, but unfortunately for Shipyard's defense is just so tight that they're just winning the ball back. And a good read by Evans to grab that ball in the air.
Evans with an excellent clear, and it'll be sent back by the green and black. And now Gadia almost losing it to Dixon, who came flying in out of nowhere with that speed, but did well to maintain it. Ken Karosic now, he'll handle it on the outside and see what he can do with it. 3-on-1. As they all started to crowd him, he sends it over to Mark Chargaloff, working on the outside. Sends it back to Karosic. Karosic trying to send it into the box, but nobody there except for Bank of Guam Strykers. And they clear it away. Strikers now.
And Shipyard just winning every possession they can get.
Yeah, Shipyard playing with a little sense of urgency here as the clock starts to tick down in the final half. But with Strikers seeming to slow down just a little bit. Maybe it's fatigue. Dixon and Min Choi there will take a spill. It looks like a yellow card is brandished. And I'm going to assume that that was for Dixon. Looks like he acknowledged it and moved on, and now
And Chargaloff will take that free kick. He may drive that ball into the top corner. We'll see what happens.
kept it on the ground, kept it low.
Line
Cleary.
right through the wall.
Long shot on goal and excellent save there in front of the net by Julius Campos. And Campos clears it past midfield. So it looks like the referee, by our count, will let a little bit of added time go on. Past the 45-minute mark. Coming up on the 47th minute. Ajay setting it up. Top of the circle now, and sent it to the offense, popped up, and now it's anybody's ball as it rolls out of bounds.
And Shipyard will get the possession or the throw in.
Gadia in good position, but just couldn't get it up and in, as it'll travel well out of bounds and well into the parking lot over there for the GFA Four-Wheel City.
Guam Strykers sending the ball through the middle, and Shipyard winning the possession again.
Jacques Odie. And Gadia. Getting some words from the ref there.
And Evans of Shipyard just knocking the ball to clear it out. And here we go.
That'll be halftime, as the Bank of Guam Strykers playing a tough game, but unfortunately they are down here in the first half. 2-1 to Shipyard. We'll be right back with second half action here from Guam Football Association's National Training Center in Harmon. Red Dragon Sports, Taco Bell, Live Moss, 76 Circle K, and of course GFA themselves, all bringing you the action. Second half coming up. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a little bit. Second half action coming to you, Budweiser Soccer League. Men's Premier Action Division 1 as the Guam Shipyard. You know, I asked this question, maybe you can answer this. I asked this question last week, nobody could answer me. You call them the Wolverines? I know that the Wolverines at the lower, at the youth level.
Youth level, yes.
But can you call them the Wolverines? I mean, it's kind of the same, right?
It is. I mean, it's just the men's team, so.
Right, and they don't really have a mascot outside of that. It's not like you call them the Wolverines and they're really like, the Hawks or something.
Right, and I think Shipyard, again, it's just their sponsor. So
Yeah,
Shipyard Wolverines, that's what they're known in the youth league. So I'm sure.
So then it's settled. I'm calling them Wolverines. I'm gonna
Yep.
take it out.
Shipyard Wolverines, yes.
Take the unofficial stance and call them Wolverines from now on. All right, Wolverines taking on the big Guam Strykers. With team. So here we go.
Wolverines starting second half with the possession. See what Bank of Guam has lined up in this second half.
Ricky cuts him out of there with a excellent move around. That would be Jared. Was it Lance? No. Shot on goal there. Now Sean Evans.
The Bank of Guam Strykers being the aggressors in the start of the second half.
They're definitely going to need it as they trail by one goal, although it's been a very exciting first half leading up to the second half now. Just to recap a little bit, Ajay Podden scored right around the 10-minute mark, 12-minute mark, somewhere around there. Number 4 off a corner kick that he headed in. And then Bank of Guam Strykers answer back just a few minutes
We got
later.
a one-on-one. Let's see if you
Now
can finish
Min
that.
Choi with a one-on-one
There
and
you go,
right
he
into
does.
the goal, keeps it low, right around.
Line drive to the
Campos,
corner.
Julius Campos can't account for the corner like you said, and that'll be Min Choi's 14th, 15th goal on the season, something like that. I don't have the information in front of me, but he just continues to separate himself from the rest of the pack in the Golden Boot race.
Any
the defending champion.
right, and any corner shot to any corner line drive, any line drive shot to the corner is always a keeper's nightmare. So here we go. Let's see if the
And
Strykers
Min
can
Choi
catch
just
up.
by himself is a keeper's nightmare,
Right,
especially
yeah,
one-on-one.
yes.
You know, no keeper wants to ever see that.
Right, exactly.
Because he's dangerous, and you know he doesn't miss very often. We'll see it again as Min Choi there, one-on-one.
It looks like the
That'll be Eddie
defense
Wang.
on the Strykers just kind of.
Excuse me, Kyle. Halle,
yes.
right?
Halle.
The youngest member in the entire league, a freshman over at Father Duenas Memorial School, playing for Coach Keith Dixon in the IIAAG, and now playing in the men's league for Coach Dixon. That'll be Katsumata from Napati.
Go ahead
Katsumata trying to send it in, looking for, looks like Scott Spindell
And Evans with that great block
and Sean
from
Evans
that cross.
coming out. And this is very interesting. And before we get back to the play, so I follow uniforms, and I like to notice uniforms. And this is what's interesting to me. It seems that the Bank of Guam Strykers keeper only has one kit, and it's pink. Because Sean Evans has two kits, one of which is pink. The other which is really, really close to the Bank of Guam Strykers. So it's interesting to see him use his backup kit and then have to put a penny on top of it.
Right,
That's
right.
orange, you know what I mean? It's just funny how they how they have to differentiate the colors on the field.
Right, right.
So he can't wear pink because the other goal is wearing pink, and he can't wear his actual one because that's kind of matches the team he's playing. So
Right.
he's got to wear a random orange, you know, and so but it's just funny that people catch that. You know,
Right,
'cause
right, yes.
If I was in charge, I wouldn't catch that. Throw in there from Choi. Xavier Napati will find it, and it'll go up to Ricky Katsumata, who sends it up to Jock Odie, and Odie off to the races. On the far side, Odie working around Ken Karosic. That's been a battle all night. Jonathan Cleary there as a safety net, but Karosic handling himself, and Odie trying to get around him with a stop, but the fancy footwork isn't enough, and now Shipyard will retain possession and try to send it up.
And patience again by the Wolverines to just distribute the ball.
And that's Jared Kitchicho there with some nice moves as he's all alone, and he gets tangled up there with the Strykers defense and sends it over to Min Choi. Min Choi drawing some attention on the outside, and Choi.
And the Wolverines reset the ball back middle.
And Johnson will head it out of harm's way, sends it back up into the midfield line, and now Ricky Katsumata being worked on by, it's like Landstrom there. Cleared away to Ajay.
There you go. You got Min Choi going for a one-on-one again.
And with,
Kicks the
around
corner.
Johnson, Min Choi going for the outside corner, almost a direct replication of what he did the time before, but couldn't get his footing, couldn't slow down, and,
And the
Campos
keeper
with a good save.
right.
With a good save.
There you go.
That's Scott Spindell, the longtime striker. And Ricky Katsumata, I believe is who that was, yes, streaking up the side, or streaking up that side, and pulls back for a hard shot, but just a little off target. And fortunately for Sean Evans, because that one was coming in hard.
Right, but that was a nice kick. I mean, if you just kicked it a little bit more towards this left, I think that would have been a goal.
Evans sending it up to midfield, a little collision there, but making Guam come out with possession, and now that'll be Katsumata looking for Xavier Napati, and Napati.
Got a pass through the line for the Strykers, but Wolverines just kick it back out of bounds.
I believe that's Nana there on the side judge, the linesman. Yep. Could tell by the speed. Napati will throw it in. Yeah, watch Nana. It's interesting because He's been up here with me several times. We've covered a few games together, and then, you know, I end up covering games right with him right before he plays, and then the next week he plays, he always loses. So I hope I'm not a curse for him, but they suffered, like I said, a tough loss, although it was a great game. Quality was in it very much until the end, but Guam Shipyard prevailed last week, and, you know, you kind of figured that they had to. It was kind of a giant killer mentality that Quality came in with after knocking off the heavily favored Napa Rovers FC the week before, and then a big chance to jump Shipyard in the standings, or excuse me, the Rovers in the standings by beating Shipyard. But though they fought hard in the end, you know, they just couldn't quite close the deal. They did well to score on Shipyard, but couldn't score enough and couldn't stop Shipyard enough, and so they come away with a loss, and no doubt they'll have the bye this evening.
This week, yes. Shipyard looking to reset their game plan.
Yeah, they'll send it back to Sean Evans, and now they'll try to get everybody situated. You know, and you see it most, I mean, when you talk to coaches, and I'm sure this probably drives you crazy when you see it, but, you know, especially when you're down, every possession is important, you know.
Exactly.
You know, and,
yes.
but some goalies, when they, you know, on a frantic panic, you know, they just want to get it, collect it, and clear it away, you know, regardless of who it's to. It's just, you know. And, you know, I've heard coaches, you know, just kind of want to pull their hair out, because when you're down in an important game, or when you're down really close with time ticking away, you want to make sure that every possession counts.
Exactly. But I think with some of these keepers, when they see that opportunity, they just want to try to go for a breakaway play, and hoping the strikers will get that possession and just go for a one-on-one with the keeper. So.
And there are teams, you know, I've seen Shipyard run that game on teams like Hadza United, you know, and as long as they can kick it over the crowd, and they've got Min Choi kind of squirting through, you know, through the pile, and being there on the other end and not being offsides, he's one-on-one with the goalie every time. And as I mentioned, that's a situation nobody wants.
Exactly. Catch the defense sleeping in.
Or just, you know, catch them just not fast enough. You know, I mean, and what a goal there! As I thought we were going to be able to call it off, and it took a terrible bounce for the Bank of Guam Strykers. Bounces up on the crossbar, then bounces straight back down. And instead of hitting the crossbar and deflecting out, it kind of nicked the inside and rolled. Looked like it had a little bit of a backspin, and not the goalie's fault there. He stopped it 2 or 3 times and just deflected it up, but unfortunately for him and his team, not enough. And that takes a Guam Shipyard bounce, as we see. Stops it there, tries to stop it there.
But it looks like the keeper just knocked it right back in the goal, secured the goal for
he was
Shipyard.
Right behind it there, and it looks like, maybe it had kind of crossed the plane there. But
Shipyard gets that friendly bounce.
Good bounce for Shipyard, an excellent effort there by Julius Campos, who, in all essence, really had it initially, but couldn't hang on to it. Katsamata scored off of for the Bank Guam Strykers. It was a PK. The foul was committed by Guam Shipyard's Camden Uggan.
Yes.
And he got a red card there, and that's the red card we couldn't figure out who it actually went to, because we didn't notice anybody leaving. But it wasn't for Ajay, it wasn't for Mark Chargaloff. They seemed to be just arguing their teammate's point, but Cam Uggan did have to come off.
And a shove by a Shipyard. So we'll see if Bank of Guam can capitalize on this free kick.
That'll be a yellow card. Looks like Gadia, I believe, is the one who got tangled up with Jock Odie. And each player helping each other up, so nothing on purpose. Coach Keith Dixon looking on. Shot on goal there, right past Sean Evans, and Evans knows well to deflect it. Much to the...
But the Strykers will get a chance to redeem themselves on this play with a corner, so let's see.
To the glee of his bench,
they
give a yes, Sean, yes chant after that save.
Strikers don't get that friendly bounce in the middle off of that corner.
And Ken Carosis there, looks like that was that was Johnson who was being shoved out of play, and you could hear even Guam Shipyard telling the Guam Strykers to beat him. Shipyard definitely in a good mood. They enjoy a 3-goal lead. Ball chipped up. That'll go right through the defense, and we'll see what they can do with it now. They line up. Sean Evans now.
Sean Evans with the clear to the top of the building on the stands.
Up away and out of play there, yeah, up into the new stands over there for GFA. So we're going to mention it, and we can talk a little bit about it now, as there's they're working the ball around. So the Crusaders just recently returning back after their hiatus since 2009, and you'll be making the spring season debut.
Spring
right?
17 season, yes, and we pretty much have teams for all age groups from the under 6 all the way to the under 18.
Okay. So you'll be playing it, just at all age groups. So you'll be out here all day Saturday, starting here in about 2 months or so.
Right.
Be under the canopy after it's all said and done with the good food.
Right. We'll see what time matches normally start. 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm used to it though. Been there, done that with the Two-Mont Soccer Club. Great club. Had the opportunity to work with Coach Peter Lahi. He was a great coach. Learned a lot from him, and but this opportunity came up, and so I just went ahead and took it. So we'll see where this takes us.
So as far as the Benca Guam, just the logistics and how they look. Benca Guam Crusaders what's the color scheme? Is there a mascot? Is there is it all going to be the same as it was before? You're going to kind of approach it differently and revamp the club itself, or?
Well, the colors, as far as the uniform colors, it'll be the same as when the Crusaders were in the league, which will be purple, black, and white.
Okay.
Crusaders also has a youth basketball team. Their colors are maroon, black, and white. Unfortunately, that's the same colors as Two-Mont, so I didn't want to take that, and so I'll just stick with the purple, black, and white. And our players in the under 18 division are made up primarily of GW soccer players.
Okay,
so,
okay,
so
great.
we got a little bit of other schools as well, but primarily GW players, yes.
A lot of GW students,
Right.
Barragata residents as well, so that makes sense.
Yes.
And also, so the Crusaders name, that's it. So that's baseball. That's now
Baseball,
returning to soccer,
now
basketball,
soccer,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So.
Barragata on the come up there in the sports world is returning to soccer, so they'll get somebody in all the big three.
Yes,
get a team,
yes.
get representation, and all of it. So now Mark Chargaloff.
Off to his corner kick. Let's see if the Wolverines can capitalize on this corner.
And as far as the start of the season, do you know exactly what day it is? I mean, I know it's usually about the end of February, about beginning of March. So
Well, season is normally second Saturday of February, so this year around be February 11th, first match. Yes.
So even actually closer than I
Yes.
remembered. So just here in a couple weeks, you guys are already practicing, and
We started practice 3 weeks ago, and
Okay.
numbers were low at the beginning, but again, they're starting to build up, so we should be good from there.
Great. Well, wish you all the best of luck this
Appreciate
season.
it,
Yeah,
yes.
be covering it there with Red Dragon and PNC Sports. And speaking of, I want to show some love to our sponsors, pay some bills here. Guam Football Association bringing you Budweiser Soccer League premier action for the Men's League D1, to be exact. It's Red Dragon Sports, GFA, Taco Bell, Live Mas, as well as 76 Circle K. I want to thank you for joining us. GuamFA.com. You can catch us right here every Saturday night, free of charge. GuamFA.com. Stream it, and then also you can catch it on the rebroadcast as well.
Yeah, it looked like Spindle was looking for a call on the 18-yard box, but he didn't get it, so missed PK opportunity for the Guam Strykers to try to catch up.
Catch it up, and a big deficit is, and I say that it's not, we've seen teams, especially in this league, come back really quickly. But the way that the Shipyard has kind of shut down the Strykers throughout the second half, I mean, it's completely night and day from the end of the second half, or first half rather, when the Strykers had all their success. But now the Shipyard squad has really clamped down and gotten back to basics and business. And, it's shown on the scoreboard. They put two more in since the start of the half. So
It was blown, so I'm not sure what.
and it looks like it was more of a, as the head referee had to go talk to his line judge over there about about what the actual call was, and then only then did he give the yellow card. So I wonder what Kyle saw over there on that far side. But either way, we move on. 38th minute now, or excuse me.
Heading to the 39th.
Yeah, heading to the 39th minute.
With about 6 minutes left to go into half, unless the refs decide to extend.
Yeah.
For reasons unknown.
Right. Yeah, for reasons unknown. Hasn't been any, just like in the first half, hasn't been really no injuries at all.
Which is a good thing.
Which is a great thing, yes, and not many stoppages. I mean, there's been some cards, but not really big, arguments or or any kind of pleading of the case with the refs. So show your card, you accept it, and move on.
Yes.
And everybody's been good at that all night. So it'll be interesting to see if there is any added time. But as it stands now, we'll just assume as we come in right around 5 minutes left here in this contest. Early game, by the way, Budweiser Soccer League Men's D1 Premier Action. GFA, Red Dragon Sports, Taco Bell, Live Moss, 76 Circle K. Responsible for bringing it to you. Thanks for joining us. That's Mark Chargaloff there. Slowing things down, settling things around the midfield line for his team, and Chris Debo Santos there sends it up to Jared Kitchicho, but now it'll change hands. And it's Crawford up to Ricky Katsamata. Crawford looking for Odie now, off another throw-in. Ref blows his whistle, and looks like it'll be a free kick for the Strikers. Sean Evans, ball kicked way out of play, but Sean Evans going ahead and saving it anyway, trying to send it up to Mark Chargaloff, and there's Ricky Katsamata right on his, or excuse me, Xavier Napati right on his heels, and now Crawford getting through. Katsamata looking like he expected to get a handball called on him. Looks like it may have popped up and hit him in the elbow, but the referee lets him play on, and now that's Mark Chargaloff, sends it back to Gadia, and Gadia clears it away, but to no avail as the defense for the Strikers are there. And now Anthony Babauta calling for the ball.
There you go.
He's got a chance, and now Chris Santos hitting Anthony Babauta, but settling it down just a little bit too late, and when he did, it ricocheted a little bit too far for him. Just really couldn't find his footing there.
Yeah, Wolverines were looking for that 1v1. Fortunately for the Guam Strykers, they were able to break up that play.
Whistle blown. Goes against Shipyard. Wolverines now running down the field as Strikers will try to kick it up. Ricky Katsamata gets wrapped up with Kitchicho, and both slow to get up, but both do, and it'll be Shipyard who end up with it, and now over to Chris Santos. Santos with some options in the middle. If he can get the crossover, he's got Mark Chargaloff. Strikers now. They clear it up. It's Ricky Katsamata all alone, and I think maybe expecting an offsides call on Sean Evans. Will collect it without being challenged. No whistle blown. About a minute and a half left to play in regulation.
Yeah, with this lead and the time winding down, I think it would be smart for the Wolverines just to keep the ball and not turn it over. Spread the ball around.
Ricky Katsamata getting it from Napati back to Katsamata. Odie.
Oh,
Jacques
shot call
Odie.
there. Looks like Michael Guam will get that free kick.
It looks like he'll get a free kick, and that's Landstrom there, trying to plead his case. Referee lets him play on. We'll see how this ends up. That'll be Jacques Odie now, who will try to finish what he started, getting shoved to the ground, and now he'll take the free kick. Looks like it ricocheted off the head. Was that Gadia that it got a head in on it? Now
Odie looked like he was trying to chip that into the corner. But a great read by Gadia to just jump off and block that ball.
it's in it well out of the harm of the goal. Sean Evans.
Back in Guam with another opportunity to get that goal in this corner.
Swings it in. Jared Kitschel there. Trying to get a leg on, almost sent it the opposite way. Now Ricky Katsamata will get another chance. It's out of bounds.
And Shipyard will get that goal kick. And we are at the 45-minute mark.
That's right. So should be wrapping up. We'll see what the ref decides, as the ref looking at his watch just a little bit and lets them play on. So after regulation, we'll see how much added time the referee gives.
Wolverines with a comfortable 3-goal lead. Let's see what the Strikers can do on this play.
Xavier Napati running all alone. He's got some room back to park. Napati now being challenged by Chris Santos, and now it's a foot race. It's 2-on-1 as Dixon and Napati trying desperately to be the last line of defense. Mark Chargaloff, he's got some room, and now Jared Kitchicho sends it over. Good diffusion there by the defense. All eyes on the referee now as he checks his watch again. Still looking at it, watching the field of play, and now Shipyard. They'll send it back. Ref checks his watch. 4-1. Shipyard seemingly have this one wrapped up. As the Bank of Guam Strykers, we're just outmatched, and just really just out. Just kind of, they didn't play as physical as Guam Shipyard, and they were just kind of outmanned and outmuscled throughout this one.
Right, but like you mentioned earlier, they're a young core, but I think as they grow over time and get comfortable with each other, they will make some noise in this division.
Referee holding up a finger there, so we'll see if he's close to blowing the whistle. Doesn't look like it. Sean Evans, he's going to line up for the goal kick. Dixon now sends it up. Katsamata on his horse, off and running, but can't quite get there. Referee
Looking around, see if he's going to blow that whistle or let him play.
had a smile that, just a few more minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Now looking at his whistle again, we'll see. All right, that's Gadia. Gadia sending it up, and it'll find Kitschel. Kitschel over to Chargaloff. Chargaloff, ref, blows the whistle
Here we
now.
go.
He adds 3 minutes to each half for a little added time, but it's not enough for the Strikers as they fall 4-1 to the Guam Shipyard Wolverines. Guam Shipyard, they remain to make their case as the top team in the league. That after picking up 2 wins in a row, 3 wins in a row after dropping their only one And that'll wrap it up for me. I want to thank you for joining us in
Thank you.
anytime. Yeah, and good luck to you and the Barragata Crusaders and the Triple J Auto Group Robbie Weber Youth Soccer League coming up, as you mentioned.
Yes.
Starts February 11th.
February 11th, Saturday, yes.
That's right. So come on out. Watch
Yes.
all day of soccer. Good food.
Exactly,
And,
yes.
and good football. And other than that, we'll see you next week. Bank Guam Strykers fall again, 1-4, the final from Harmon out at GFA's National Training Center. I want to send a shout out and a special thanks to Red Dragon Sports, GFA, of course, Taco Bell, Live Moss, 76 Circle K for bringing it to you, and you for. We'll see you again next week. GuamFA.com. Until then, have a good weekend. Good night. See you later.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.